In 2023, I left my Agile Coach role because I was tired. Not burned out, not angry. Tired. Tired of creating playbooks, managing change, developing dashboards that look good while nothing else actually changed. So I stepped away, not in frustration, to find out if the problem was the work or just the way I did it. A year later, I had my answer, and the work wasn't the problem. So when someone tells me they're thinking about leaving the industry, I always ask the same question. Are you leaving because the role is capped, or because your environment is performing Agile instead of practicing it? Those are not the same problem, and they don't have the same answer. And what's happening in the market right now makes this more urgent than most people realize. Scrum Master job postings hit an all-time high in 2022. Right now, demand is still strong, but the role that is in demand isn't the role most Scrum Masters are doing. It's expanded. Hybrid environments, delivery ownership, outcome accountability. And most people in the role haven't expanded with it. So the question was never whether Scrum is dead or Agile is dead. It's whether you've outgrown the version you were taught. Scrum Masters usually hit a ceiling around year 3 or 4. Not because they've maxed out the role, but because they've maxed out the ceremony version of the role. Those are two different ceilings. One means you need to leave. The other means you need to expand. Most people can't tell which one they've hit. I couldn't either, until I left. When I left, I started a restaurant, healthy, fast casual, acai bowls to be precise. And I was managing a team of high school kids, and I couldn't escape it. During a Saturday rush, I would be breaking up conflict between 2 team members, asking what went wrong. What would make the next shift better? No frameworks, no vocabulary, no ceremonies, same work, different room. And that's when it hit me. I hadn't left the work. I had stripped away everything I was hiding behind. The ceremonies, the language, the structure. Strip all of that away, and what is left is either leadership or nothing. That's when I realized the role wasn't small. We were. Right now, as a Scrum Master, you're an individual contributor. No budget, no headcount, no roadmap ownership. But you sit between product, engineering, delivery, and leadership in a way most people never do. You see trade-offs forming before there are decisions. You see pressure building before it's visible upward. Most people in that seat don't recognize what they're holding. They call it coordination. It's not coordination. It's position. And position is leverage. I've watched people leave. The ones who moved into technical roles had to rebuild credibility from the ground up. Your expertise has to speak before anyone listens to your judgment. Influence doesn't transfer with the resignation letter. It has to be re-earned, and that takes time. The ones who carried their instincts with them found their feet fast. Not because of anything on their resumes, because they already knew how to operate in a room. That part travels. Everything else stays behind. If you want to own product vision, build a business skill. If you want to lead engineering, build technical depth. Those are real moves, and I respect them. And if you decide to make one of those moves, what travels with you is worth more than the title you're leaving. But most people I talk to aren't making those moves. They're just tired. Tired of being ignored, tired of meetings that go nowhere, tired of feeling like a coordinator in a room full of decision makers. And tired is not a reason to leave. Tired is a signal. It's telling you something needs to change. So before you make the call, filter out the noise. Not the LinkedIn post about Agile dying. Not one bad quarter. Not a manager who doesn't get the role. That's weather. The real signal is in 3 questions. First, are your wins getting bigger? Or are you doing the same things you did 2 years ago? Second, when people describe you, do they say you run good meetings or that you make things clear? And the one that matters most, is the ceiling you or your environment? Sit with those. If the answers point toward leaving, you know what to do. If they point toward staying, you already have the seat. Most people spend their careers trying to get the kind of visibility you have. And if you've been sitting with those 3 questions, you already know what ceiling you've hit. The only question left is what you're going to do about it. Not whether to leave, what you're going to do with what you're already holding. The Strategic Operator Brief is where this series starts. 7 pages. Not a framework, not a checklist, a diagnostic. It forces you to review how you're actually operating, not how you think you are. The Scrum Masters who worked through it didn't get motivation. They got clarity. And clarity changes how you show up in the room. If you're serious about expanding inside this role, start there. The link is in the description.